Good day, everyone. Are you ready? Today's lesson is solve quadratic equations by extracting square roots. We have learned the concept of a square. Do you remember the formula for the area of a square? It's s squared. What are square numbers? 1 is a square number because 1 times 1 is 1. The next square number is 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. Next is 9. Next is 16. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. Then 64, 81, 100, 121, and the last square number is 144. These are also perfect square numbers because these are produced when a number is multiplied by itself. Let us recall the concept of radical expression. It's understood that the number written there is 2. But what do you call 2? 2 is the index. Next, what is that symbol or sign? That is the radical sign. And do you see the x inside the radical sign? What do you call the x written inside the radical sign? It's the radicand. Let's also recall how to write a radical expression into a rational exponent. Did you hear exponent? So let's begin by writing the exponent. The denominator is 2. Why? It's the root or the index. The numerator is the exponent on the radicand. What is exponent in the radicand? There, it's understood to be 1. So if we have exponent, there must be a base. What do you think is the base? The base is x. So we have recalled how to write a radical expression into a rational exponent. Clear? Are there any questions? What is a math wall clock? Are you familiar with a math wall clock? Okay, that's our wall clock. You see the numbers inside and there are numbers written outside the clock. How are the numbers inside the wall clock related with the numbers written outside the wall clock? Okay, so let's find out. Let's begin with 144. So if we get the square root of 144, you will get 12. The square root of 81 is, the number inside is 9. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 121 is 11. What is the square root of 64? Yes, 8. What is the square root of 49? It's 7. Next, square root of 9. Yes, it's 3. Square root of 1. It's 1. Square root of 4. It's 2. Square root of 100. 10. Square root of 25. 5. And the square root of 16 is 4. So to remember the square root numbers, let's also remember our whole clock. Let's study the quadratic equation in the form x squared is equal to k. The only given here are the quadratic term and the constant term. Let's look at example number 1. X squared is equal to 16. What do you think are the values of x which, when replaced in x, will give us 16? Yes, 4. Because 4 squared is 16, and that is true. How about negative 4? Will it also give us 16? Negative 4 times negative 4 is also 16. So that is also correct. So the roots of the given in number 1 are 4 and negative 4. We write the roots or the solutions as x is equal to 4 or x is equal to negative 4 or x is equal to positive or negative 4. Let's count the number of solutions or roots, 4 and negative 4. So there are 2 real solutions or roots. We can apply the method of getting the square root of both sides. The square root of x squared is x and the square root of 16 are positive and negative 4. Look at example number 2. Let's get the square root of x squared and the square root of 0. What is the square root of 0? Yes, it's 0. Are there other numbers when multiplied by itself is 0? None. So it's only 0. So let's count the number of solutions. Yes, there is only one solution or root in example number 2. Look at example number 3. X squared is equal to negative 16. Let's get the square root of each. And let's try 4 squared. Will it give negative 16? 4 squared is positive 16. So it's not equal to negative 16. And it will not give us negative 16. Also, negative 4 squared will not give us negative 16 because negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So how are we going to describe the solution or the root in number 3? So there are no real solutions or roots. So in solving quadratic equation in the form x squared is equal to k, we use the method of extracting square roots. And its properties are: 1. If k is greater than 0, then x squared is equal to k. Then getting the square root of each, we have 2 solutions. It's positive or negative the square root of k. Again, how are we going to describe the solutions? Yes, 2 real solutions or roots. Look at number 2. If k is equal to 0, then x squared is equal to 0. So, what are the values of x? Yes, it's 0. So how many solutions or roots? If k is equal to 0, So there is only one real solution or root. And in number 3, if k is less than 0, then x squared is equal to k. Then there are no real solution or root. Are there any questions? How did you find solving quadratic equation by extracting square roots?